Hey there YouTube, I am doing a review on the Behringer CMD Studio 2A. In looking online, trying to find a small controller to use with Traktor, I found a lot of information on Studio 4A and similar products, but since I was looking for something very small and compact, so I could put it in the case that you see in front of you, along with my Kai LPD8s, and I was trying to keep the budget low, this seemed very attractive to me. $99 everywhere, built-in audio interface. So I pulled the trigger and got one, and I'm here to share my findings with you. So first of all, it's a little smaller than it looked in pictures. I knew that it was going to be small, but as you can tell by the jog wheels and the buttons and everything, it's very compact. It's perfect. It's the size I wanted, but it might be too small for some people. A lot of the Pioneers and even the CMD 4A were just enormous, and they were more than I wanted to travel with. So if you're looking for something small, this is good. It's got a really good build feel. The faders have really nice resistance to them. The crossfader, if you use the crossfader, it's relatively loose. You can get away with some scratching. Obviously, it's at this price point, it's not intended to be a scratch mixer, but it's good. It's smooth. All the knobs feel solid, have really good resistance, which is nice. Buttons have a good tactile feel too. Jog wheels are smooth. Everything just feels really well put together, especially for the price. There are maps for this, or I should say a map for this. If you go to the CMD Studio 2A product page on Behringer's website, they do have a TSI file that gives you basic functions for Traktor. All of the buttons are mapped in a way that makes sense. There are a couple buttons that weren't mapped, but you won't really miss them. I'll get into that later. One thing I do want to go into, because it confused me when I was setting this up, and the setup guide that came with the unit doesn't do you a whole lot of good, especially if you're trying to set it up with Traktor and not with the software that it's shipped with. But in here, in your audio setup, you want to make sure that you've got Studio 2A selected for your audio in, and then in your output routing, this is what was throwing me off. In your output master, you want to set up your left and right as master out 0 and 1. Those are RCAs. But I wasn't getting anything through the headphones. And I figured out that you have to go into your output monitor and you need to set up your left and right for outs 2 and 3. And that actually routes the headphones out to your headphone jack, which is something that you would probably want. So, in getting into some of the functions here, you've got, obviously, you've got your jog controls. It works basically just like a CDJ. If you've used a CDJ, this is going to be familiar for you. You've got pitch dials. You can see my pitch is moving up and down, so that's your set pitch, and then you've got your pitch bend buttons. So if you don't want to use the jog wheels, or if you're just more comfortable doing tap adjustments, then you've got pitch up and down control while the track is playing. So jog wheel, obviously. So you get your speed control, or you can tap your vinyl button and you get vinyl style control. And then, oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, I've remapped all the buttons on this just because I have so many other functions set up. So now my pitch bends control the loop increments. But it's a nice thing about this is that you can remap everything to be whatever you want it to be. I only have basic transport controls are stock. Everything else has been set up for something else. But when you do get it, when you do load the stock map, you've got your A/B assigned for your crossfader, so you can flip your crossfader if that's your thing for doing scratch tricks and things like that. You've got your mode button, which juggles you back and forth between your browse mode and your full transport screen. You've got 4 Q buttons that you can use to set up hotkeys, and 4 sample buttons that you can use for triggering samples in the sample deck. You've got up, down, folder, and file controls. If I recall correctly, folder and file weren't mapped to anything. Up and down you could use to scroll within your browser, and then you've got load A and load B to actually load them into your decks. You've got your Q buttons for your headphones, so you can cue or mute either channel in your headphones. You can't do a headphone Q master mix on this using the controls. You can go into Traktor and you can do it with your mouse, but you don't have a control over that. And then obviously you've got your sync buttons, which I don't remember if those were mapped or not. I'm not a big sync user, so didn't really pay attention to that. They tell you that this is a 2-deck controller, but if you know your way around mapping, you can actually fudge this and turn it into a limited 4-deck controller. So I went through and remapped the Q and the sample buttons, and I am using them to control stuff in the remix decks. So now I can start and stop items in the remix decks, and I've got master volume control over it. So it's not perfect, but again, when you're dealing with limited space and real estate, it's really cool to be able to have that function. The Studio 2A only, as far as I can tell, sends control data on CC1, so I had to set up my Akai's, thankfully, to run on program 2 and 3, which is great. So this way I've got control over a lot of things without having MIDI control clashes. Threw me off at first. So if you're going to get into mapping, especially if you're going to use it with other devices, it's a good thing to know. Sound quality on this is really good. I'm impressed. I push big headphones, Audio Technicas and Sony's, and sometimes even Grados. And even at half volume, the sound quality on the headphone jack is nice and clean. Shouldn't have any problems playing in a loud venue with that. And the output quality on the RCAs is good. Seems like they gave you a decent built-in sound card with this, especially at the price point. So I'm very pleased with it. I'm gonna hang on with it. I'm gonna toy around with the mapping a little bit more. But yeah, if you're looking for a simple controller that's got all the things you need, you can go through and, you know, it'll at least get you started. And I don't think you'll regret it for the money. If you grow out of it, then you can move up to something bigger, and or you can do what I did and you can add on separate controllers. But for what it is, I think it's a fantastic value, and I don't think you'll regret it. So if you have any questions or comments, please go ahead and leave them, and I'll do my best to get back to you. All right, thanks, bye.